Hey YouTube, it's your girl Plush Unfiltered, and today I'm not doing a video about hair. Thank God, it takes so much work. But I'm doing a video, more of a nostalgic video on my labor and delivery. I had a friend on my Facebook who just went into labor a day ago, and she had her baby, and it just makes, and things like that just takes me back to a time when I remember the moments when I came around for the first time. So I just want to let you guys know, because I did a lot of YouTube watching during my pregnancy, and I didn't get a chance to film mine. So I just want to do these little throwback videos. Even though my son is 18 months now, I get to look back and talk about these memories and feel good about them. So let's get started. And then I have two other friends that are pregnant, so they probably might want to see this to know the possibilities of things that can happen when you go into labor. So let's start with how the contractions started. Okay, so my sister had a TV show. My sister had a dance show, and she wanted me to come to it. We made a promise. We made a promise that if I was not in labor or in the hospital by the time her show arrived, I was going to make it to her show. So I kept my promise, and I went to the show, and everybody gathered at my father's house, and we all were on our way to the show. So on our way to the show, my father was like, you know what, I'm going out of town in a few days, and I don't want you to have this baby while I'm out of town. So listen, you're going to have the baby this weekend. So he's hitting like these huge bumps on the highway, and I'm like, Daddy, please stop. And he must have thought I was joking, but I was kind of uncomfortable. So we get to the show, and like an hour into the show, I'm having like these weird feeling in my stomach. It feels like pressure, it feels heavy, it feels like cramps at the same time. So I was like, whoa, what's going on? So I was like, maybe if I go to the bathroom, I'll feel a little bit better. I go to the bathroom, I pee, I feel great again. I said, listen, I'm doing this, I'm working this pregnancy. Let me go back to my sister's show. I watched the remainder of the show. I was comfortable, I was good. We left, we ate, we went to bed. I took a picture that night. Ironically, thank God I did. I took a picture that night of my belly because my friend wanted to see my progression of my pregnancy before I went into labor. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna take a picture tonight, and I sent it to him. So he's like, God damn, your belly got so big from the last time I seen it. So he was like, you know, or whatever. So I was like, yeah, whatever. I don't want to be pregnant anymore. Just get this damn baby out of my belly. So, but I felt good. I felt decent enough to walk around day to day, but it's just like he started bearing down and getting so uncomfortable. So I slept good that night. I slept really good that night, and that was the night of the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. So the next morning, they were giving all the highlights. And I'm watching the highlights, and in the middle of the highlights, I'm feeling like this cramping sensation. And where I got my contractions, I did not get my contractions in my belly. Some people complain of getting contractions in their backside. I didn't get it in my backside. I got it in my cervix, which is so painful. It is so painful, guys. You do not understand. Like, no. If you had babies and if you had cervical contractions, you know where I'm coming from, but I'm like, not fun. So I'm sitting down, and I get my first contraction. So in my mind, I'm thinking, these are Braxton Hicks. You know, I got maybe like I have a couple of days to go. Maybe these are Braxton Hicks preparing me for labor. So I'm like, if these are Braxton Hicks, I don't know what to expect from real contractions. So I get on the train, and I go home at this point. I'm going home, and let me backtrack. My brother's like, are you okay? My little brother, he was like 9 at the time. He was like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm positive, I'm fine. And he was like, well, you don't look okay. And I was like, I'll be okay, I'll be okay. He's like, okay. He does what kids do, and they jog off, they go play. So I got ready. I'm on the train, it's about 3 or 4 o'clock, and I get it again. I'm like, standing up on the train. And this is how rude people are in New York City. I'm 9 months pregnant. They see my belly. They don't get up. They don't give me a seat. Hey, whatever. I'm fine. I'll make it. So I'm like, oh my God. Like, I'm just trying not to be visibly in pain. Like, so I'm just like, you know, bracing myself. Like, gripping the pole really tight, but bracing myself. So I get home. And my mom was like, how was the show? How was Todd? Tell her I love her. I'm upset I couldn't make it. You know, everything like that. So I was like, the show was great. It was really nice. I'm like, I wish, you know, I was more comfortable through the whole thing, but it was a great show. And I'm glad I went, and I'm glad I wasn't in labor. I'm glad I wasn't in the hospital. So she was like, that's good, that's good. So I was like, you know what, I'm kind of hungry. Let me go make me something to eat. So I go make me something to eat, and the whole time I'm in the kitchen cooking, I made one of my favorite fast meals. I made pork and beans and rice. So I made that, and like as I'm stirring the pot, like I'm getting another one. So I'm like, it's about 8 o'clock at this point. So I'm like, sheesh, man, these things they spaced out. So I figured they were Braxton Hicks. It's like soon as I said that, they started coming on a consistent basis. So I sat down and I'm eating, and I just couldn't sit down for the life of me. I could not sit down. I'm like, whoa, this is not Braxton Hicks. But I was like, to be sure, I was watching a bunch of YouTube videos and different girls, and I can't remember none of these girls now because, of course, my son is almost 2 years old and I don't remember any of those videos. So I'm like, I had a timer in my phone from like weeks prior just to make sure I was prepared for delivery. My hospital bag was already packed. Everything was packed. So I'm like, let me start timing these bad boys. They were getting to the point where I could not sit down, and I was like, maybe if I take a bath, I'll relax, I'll feel more comfortable. So I go to take a bath, and while I'm in the bath, they're getting worse. They're coming every 5 to 6 minutes. Every 5 to 6 minutes. So my mother's like, listen, Lex, I was going through the motions for maybe about 2 hours before I called the ambulance. I know, shoot me, it's whatever. I just wanted to make sure they were consistent enough and that they were speeding up. So I called my stepmother, and I'm like, Ma, tell Daddy I'm in labor and to meet me at the hospital. So at this point, I'm in the tub when I'm texting her and calling her or whatever. So I feel like this motion, like between my legs while I'm in the tub. So I'm thinking it's from my legs shaking from the pain from me being in the tub. So with every contraction, I'm like, it's building. I'm like, ow, 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 ow. So it's like that. And my mother sleeps. She's like, please, Lexi, let me get some sleep. So if you go into labor, I could stay up with you in the hospital. So she was like, listen, I can't do it. I'm going to sleep. Try to, you know, deal with it as best as you can. So she was like, I don't believe you're in true labor, so just try to deal with the pain as best as you can. It might be Braxton Hicks. I was like, listen, Ma, they come in every 5 to 6 minutes. This is true labor. I'm not gonna argue about this with you. This is, if you felt what I was feeling right now, you would know that this is true labor. So she went to bed, and she kept waking up from me having the contractions. And she was like, Lexus, stop playing, call the ambulance. I call the ambulance. They finally arrive. I'm getting my bags together. My mother's like, no, leave your bags. Just in case you're not in labor, they send you back home. Just leave your bags. I get in the ambulance. We're on the freeway. My hospital was Lincoln Hospital. That's where I got all of my prenatal care. And it's like the best prenatal care, the freaking worst place to have your baby. Do not have your baby at Lincoln Hospital. I'm telling you, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. So we get to Lincoln, and they put me in a wheelchair as if I can't walk. They put me in a wheelchair, and I guess for precautionary reasons, they put me in a wheelchair. And the first thing this Jamaican lady said to me, she looked at my feet. I remember exactly what I had on. I had on a black shirt that strung up on the sides, that was kind of like ruched on the sides. I had on army fatigue pants, big balloony army fatigue pants. I had on sandals, and I had on a jean jacket. So she looked down at my feet, and she said, oh my God, you're having that baby tonight. She was like, Lord have mercy, look at your feet, look at your feet. So I was like, my feet look like this every day. She was like, no, no, no. She was like, you having that baby tonight, you having that baby tonight. So the reality started kicking in for me. I was like, listen, I'm scared now. Now I'm getting scared. I called my father. He said he was on his way. Now he would meet me at the hospital. So they take me upstairs to labor and delivery, and just to see the floor of labor and delivery and to actually fill out the paperwork to get a room drove me mad. I was like, oh, this is really happening. Like, this is really happening. So I get into the goddamn room where they're about to examine me and see how far along I am as far as, you know, centimeters, because you have to be 10 centimeters dilated before you can actually begin to push to deliver your baby. That man came in the room and told me I was 6 centimeters dilated. I thought about going to sleep. I could have had my baby in the bed, y'all. I thought about going to sleep not go to the hospital till the next morning, my son would have been laid in the bed with me in the morning. So, oh man, just to think about it, it was crazy. So he was like, yeah, you're having this baby tonight. He said, you're 6 centimeters. I said, oh my God, Lord Jesus. Please be with me. Please be with me. So the lady comes back and she's like, your father's here. We just got to get you ready for your room. So then they couldn't find my veins because they told me not to eat and not to drink. So this is about maybe 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. 2 or 3 a.m. And I'm like, I can't. They were like, no ice chips, no nothing. You can't eat nothing. Don't go to the bathroom. Don't do nothing. They hooked. So when I got to the hospital, they just started hooking me up. They got the anesthesiologist on the line just in case I wanted something for, just in case I wanted an epidural. And they got everybody they needed. So they couldn't find my vein because I did not eat and I did not drink in several hours. So they called, a lady that's really good with veins. She came in and this wench, she was like, we don't have time for that. She's 6 centimeters up in, and went right for my vein, right here. I was like, is this crazy? She just dug it right, the IV. She just dug it right in it like it was nothing. Blood was dripping from my vein, just dripping. I'm like, miss, why would you do that to me? She was like, we gotta get you together. It's 6 centimeters. I get in the room, they go to burst my bag, right? Why no water come out? My water broke in the tub and I did not know because I was in the tub. The doctor was like, don't you ever do that again. You could have had your baby, blah, blah, blah. The water could have went back up inside of you and he could have been contaminated, all type of crazy stuff. He could have got infected. You don't do that next time. So I'm like, I was watching YouTube videos and all these girls were doing it. I was like, I didn't know. I'm young. I'm 22. I don't know. So he didn't waste much time on that because they had other things to worry about. They hooked up the internal monitor because I'm, as you can see, I'm a thick girl and I had, a lot of belly fat and he was a small baby. So they was like, we need to monitor his heart. So we're going to use the internal monitor, a vaginal monitor. So that's what they used. And, what happened after that? Okay, the anesthesiologist came in to give me my IV for my epidural. They didn't quite come on and ask me if I wanted epidural. They just made me sign a bunch of papers. And because I'm in pain and in the midst of contractions and all this other stuff, they just probably assumed that I wanted it. But they didn't even give me a chance to say, oh, where's the epidural, So they come in, the lady gave me the epidural. I did not object. No, I did not. I did not object because I was like, these pains, if they feel like this and I'm only 6 centimeters, I got a long ways to go. I got 4 more centimeters to go and I got a delivery to go. Let me get that epidural. So I received my epidural and I just felt like this coldness just go down my spine and I was like, let this bad boy do its job because I'm in pain. So my father's in the room with me and we're trying to get some sleep or whatever. My father's knocked out the world. Me, I'm just knocked. Like, I'm in and out of being sedated, kind of like every time a contraction comes as the medicine is wearing off, I'm like nodded in and out of sleep. So I called them to give me another dosage. So they give me another one and an hour goes past after they give me the second dosage of the epidural and the lady comes back that dug my damn arm and was like, listen, we can't, we have to give you Pitocin. You've been at a stagnant level for more than an hour. She was like, you've been at 7 centimeters for over an hour and we want you to get this labor going since your body was already in active labor when you got here. So she gave me Pitocin. And the fact of the epidural and the Pitocin, all right, for those who don't know what Pitocin is a medicine that they give you that they inject inside of you so that your cervix can dilate further and faster if you're at a steady point in your labor. So I was at that steady point at 7 centimeters. I had 3 centimeters to go and she gave me the Pitocin. Maybe about a half an hour to an hour after she gave me the Pitocin, I was having a lot of pain. So I buzzed again. I'm like, listen, y'all gotta come give me another dose. Like, I can't take this. This is like, it was like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. I was like, I can't take this pain anymore. You gotta give me another dose. She was like, I have to check you before we give you another dose. She checked me, child. She said, you're 9.5 centimeters. I can't give you no more. I was like, why? Why? So I was in so much pain, and I'm just laying there trying to take it. And after she tells, like, right after she tells me that, I'm starting to hear this monitor all by me go beep, 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 beep. So I'm getting nervous. So I'm trying to look. I'm all hooked up all types of ways because I'm numb from the waist down. Still, even though I can feel all the pain, I'm still numb from the waist down. I can't lift my legs, nothing. So I look over at the machine, and like the next thing I know, like 3 people come rushing in the room, and they're like, we gotta check the baby, we gotta check the baby. So I'm like, what is going on? So she checks the baby, and they fix the heart monitor, and you know, his heart rate was like drastically dropping. Once they finagled with it a little bit, he was back to normal. Every time they left the room, it happened again. So they left the room so many times. They came back. They was like, listen, your baby's heart rate is steadily dropping every time we leave the room. We want you to push to save your baby's life. Can you push? Yeah, I can push. I don't care if I was 7 centimeters. We gonna get this baby out. I gotta push. Come on. My baby needs to survive. My baby needs to live. I've been ready for this baby since I found out I was pregnant. Let's get this baby out. So we start pushing. So my father's like, I see the fear in his eyes, but he's trying not to panic. So he rushes to my bedside, and he's in, like, trying to console me and everything. He's calling my stepmother to let her know, like, listen, hurry up and get here. I'm texting my mom, like, it's about to go down. Hurry up and get here. The kids is off. She had to send the kids off to school. I'm like, it's about to go down, Ma. Like, I have to push. It's an emergency. Next thing you know, everybody was coming in. So I had about 12 people in the room, minus my family. And it was just to think about it, I'm just kind of getting a little emotional. But yeah, so I get nervous. So the guy's like, are you ready to push? And I'm like, yes, let's get this thing going. So they take out the monitor, they take off everything, and he's, there waiting. He's coaching me. There's like about, midwives, there's doctors, there's nurses. I don't even know half these people titles. That's how many people there were in the room. It was like 12 to 15 people in the room. So I'm pushing. And the first push, I let out an unrecognizable scream I have never heard come from a human being before. Never. Not even white chicks in scary movie films. I've never heard nothing. It was so painful. So let out this big scream, and they're like, don't scream. And I'm looking at them like, are you crazy? Your cervix is not on fire, and you're not pushing the baby out right now. So don't tell me what to do. So my father's in my ear, like, he's like Casanova in my ear. Yeah, baby, you got this. Don't worry about it. He's coming. He's so sweet and soothing. He's like a Sade song, and I couldn't take it. I just couldn't take it. He has yet to hear this from my lips to this very day. But I would never go into delivery around my father ever again. No. I can't do it. So I just needed somebody to be aggressive with me. And because my mom had to send the other kids off to school, I needed her there, because she knows when to be aggressive. And he probably would have been out sooner than he was, because my father, that sweet talking Casanova routine he was doing, I couldn't job with it. So I had one lady over here, push like a ticket, a big poop. I had another one over here, just push. Well, it's so many different voices I couldn't take it. I was getting so aggravated. It's like God sent an angel. He sent an angel when he sent this lady in the room. And I went to tour the hospital maybe a few weeks before my son was born, and she was the lady that made me tour the hospital with her. And she showed me where I was gonna give birth, and the room and everything, and where I was gonna be in the other rooms. She showed me everything. God sent that lady in that room. Even though I met her weeks prior, she probably didn't remember me, but God sent her in that room, and she came up to me and she said, push like you mad. That's all I needed to hear. And I was like, and them 10 seconds, bloop, came right out. Came right out. My mother, my stepmother come rushing in the room as he's coming out. And then all I can remember hearing my mother say, once he comes out, you're not gonna feel any more pain. It's gonna be worth it. You're gonna hear your baby cry. You're gonna be excited and all this other stuff. I was still in pain. I was still in pain, y'all. I was still in pain. I was like, she lied to me. She lied. She lied. They took my baby. They cleaned him off and everything. They gave him to me. And they took so long to give him to me. I'm like, give me my baby. Give me my baby, man. It's been like a half an hour since I pushed him out. Where's my son? Mind you, he's right next to me getting cleaned off and measured, and I can hear him crying, but I have yet to see his face. Do you know how traumatic that is for a mother to have a baby for the very first time? Even if it's beyond their first time, for a mother to have their baby and don't see their baby right after they're born, like, are you kidding me? Give me my goddamn child. They had him for at least 15 minutes to a half an hour. Maybe I'm over exaggerating, but it was at least 15 minutes to a half an hour they had my son. And he's hollering. I'm like, I haven't eaten since 9 o'clock. So, which means it's 7 o'clock the next day. And he's hungry. Give me my child. They gave me my baby, and I was just looking at him like, he's so beautiful. I'm gonna insert some photos at the end of the video, of course. I was just like, my baby's so beautiful. He's so gorgeous. And he was so little. They told me how much he weighed. I was like, suffering succotash. He was 6 pounds, 15 ounces of pure greatness. I was so happy when I saw my baby. Like, I was like, all this was for you, my guy. All of this was for you. They threatened me with emergency C-section, and that snapped me out of being scared real quick. I was like, this baby gotta come out because I don't want a C-section. And, you know, I didn't want that type of pressure on me. I didn't. I wanted my baby to come out to be healthy, and I wanted to push him out, and I wanted everything to be fine, and I just wanted everything to be fine. And that's what it was. That's what it was. So, my sister and my mother comes rushing into the hospital, and they're thinking that I'm still pushing him out. They come in the room and they see the scenery is so calm, and they look, and my sister's so excited to see me in the hospital bed knowing that I'm about to have this baby. She didn't even look in the crook of my arm. My son was sitting right there. He was so little. He was so little, guys. Oh my God. She was like, wait, is that him? And she just started boiling crying. And my mother was like right behind her on her neck, like, is he here yet? Is he here? And they just like, my baby was no longer my baby. They just took him from me. It was the cutest moment ever. It was so cute, guys. And I wouldn't change it for the world. All the pain and stuff and the suffering that I went through was worth it. Was worth it. I got my sacred Caleb Kirkland, and I love him so much. He's the light of my life, and I want all you other mothers to experience the same thing. And I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.
Six, five, four, three, two, one.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.